Each day I wake up, I feel pretty flippin' epic, to be honest. I feel driven, ready to take on a day, complete tasks that help me progress in all areas of life. I've achieved my dream physique, I'm expanding my knowledge, and most importantly, I have no negative habits holding me back. But life was not always like this. I used to be an absolute loser just a few years ago, gooning every single day, watching it multiple times a day, before school, before bed, playing video games every single day, eating like an idiot, doing drugs, and overall chasing dopamine instead of chasing excellence. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining my full self-improvement journey, how I went from an absolute loser to a very, very driven and disciplined individual. At the age of 16, 17 years old, I genuinely disliked myself. I hated myself a lot. I used to look in the mirror, skinny kid. I used to hate the way I looked in terms of my facial features. And because I was so insecure in myself, I projected that through being a bully. So I was a bully in school, not a massive bully to the point where I was like physically hurting people, but going after people so that people wouldn't attack me. And this also carried on into college as well, being a bit of a horrible person to sort of be seen as a threat and not get attacked for the things that I was actually insecure about. I had no purpose, I had no direction, and I just in general had no control over my life. So you might be thinking, okay, at 16, 17 years old, you didn't like yourself. So how did your self-improvement journey actually start? Well, in college, my friend Luca knew a girl that I liked. So he actually ended up giving me her Snapchat and talking to her on Snapchat, but ignoring her in person. When you're talking to a girl, but you straight up ignore her in person? Yeah, I was that kid. I had no confidence to go and talk to her in person. But after about a month and a bit, I finally plucked up the courage to actually go and speak to her in person. I was in the canteen with my friends, and my friend Luca nudged me. He's like, bro, go and talk to her. So I went up to her, went and spoke to her, and then she invited me to the library, and I was like, come on now, this is my chance. I'm gonna get the girl of my dreams right now. So we were sitting in the library, kicking it, just chatting a bit of bollocks, flirting a little bit. I was not that good with game back then, but I still had it, all right? So we were talking in the library. Everything was going very, very well until another guy she was speaking to came in and sat in between us, took over the conversation. He was taller than me, more handsome than me at the time, had a car, was making more money than me, was in better shape than me at the time, and I knew I couldn't really compete, do you know what I mean? So he took over the conversation. I eventually got to the point where I was like, look, I'm not going to embarrass myself any longer. Said goodbye to them both, and at that point, my self-improvement journey started. And I remember what the weather was like when I left college. It was snowing a little bit, it was dark, and it was like the start of a villain movie, to be honest. So the first step I actually took in my self-improvement journey was going to the gym. I had two friends, Luca and Leon, that were pretty deep into training, maybe like a year, just under a year of training, convinced me to join the gym, and I started training with Luca. I started seeing my body grow, my muscles getting a bit bigger, my shirt's starting to fill out a little bit more, and I overall just gained a lot of confidence. And I also gained an aspect of, I'm improving myself here, and I sort of got addicted to that cycle of, the more work I put in, the better I'm going to become as an individual, the more growth I'm going to see. And it did turn into a bit of an addiction, to be honest. At the time, my diet was absolutely terrible. I was getting a decent amount of protein in, but so much processed food, I didn't really care about anything other than protein. After about just over a year of going to the gym, I built up a decent foundation. I hadn't cut yet, and I was still pretty fluffy and stuff, but I'd been training for about a year. And early lockdown, so about 2020, I ended up meeting this girl, and this girl ended up actually becoming my girlfriend. So, I was building my physique, but I had worked on no other areas in my life, and I was still, a very, very immature young man, and I was actually very verbally abusive and emotionally abusive to this girl, so it was not a perfect relationship. It was absolutely terrible. I actually really hurt this person, so that ended up, that relationship ended up coming to an end, obviously, because let's be honest, most relationships like that are going to end at some point. Of course, I knew how to gain muscle and build a good physique, but I did not know how to be a good man. And although I was an absolute goon in this relationship, I absolutely broke this girl into bits. I still, felt hurt from the relationship. I still, cared about this person. I still loved this person. I had a funny way of showing it, but, after that breakup, I did go off the rails a little bit. Started partying, I started doing drugs I vowed to never ever touch. I always said I would never touch cocaine, I would never, do all these crazy drugs, do balloons and stuff like that. But I ended up going off the rails, going to festivals, doing all these drugs and stuff like that, and overall was not in a good mental headspace. And I in general just numbed the heartbreak, numbed all the pain, instead of actually facing it and overcoming it. But after about a month or two of self-pity, crying every single night, going out and partying, eating like an absolute idiot, and sort of messing around with low quality women, I actually decided to get my life back on track and stop feeling sorry for myself. So I got into absolutely amazing shape. This obviously took about 5-6 months to cut completely. So my first ever cut, I was looking absolutely insane, probably the leanest I've ever been. I grew my TikTok page to about 50-60K, which was a very good thing for me to do because it gave me purpose and it gave me a sort of way to document my journey and sort of build a community around the gym as well. And I overall just started immersing myself in different aspects of self-improvement. Of course, the gym was a very big part of self-improvement for me, but I started learning about the other aspects of it. So reading, learning as much as possible, meditating, all these different aspects of self-improvement got brought in around this time. And I actually realized that self-improvement is not just getting into good shape and, trying to grow a beard and stuff like that. It's actually a lot deeper than that. Then we get to about halfway through 2022. I was still healing from the breakup. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go over it very quickly. It did take me a long time to heal from that. And I was still a very lost young man. That's when a certain individual started popping up on social media. And because I was so lost and because I was looking for so many answers to the things I was struggling with, this guy just resonated with me so well. And I finally found someone that had all the answers to every single problem I was struggling with. And I became addicted to his content. I was watching it all the time, watching all his live streams, watching all his short form videos, watching all the YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I basically put this guy on a pedestal and started treating this man like he was some sort of god or something. Although his content did help me and gave me a lot of answers to what I was looking for, after about a year of consuming this content and treating this person, putting this person on a pedestal, I started to notice something. I noticed that blindly following another man's words and opinions is literally the opposite of masculinity. I claim to be a man, but my opinions and my thoughts and my beliefs were not even my own. I was literally just parroting someone else's beliefs. Because this person had money and status, I thought I must follow this person and everything they say if I want to be like that myself, when that was completely not the case. And I started going deeper and started learning about my own masculinity more, reading as many books as possible, learning from different perspectives, started thinking for myself, and most importantly, actually gained life experience to learn from things myself. And after doing this, I sort of realized that masculinity isn't about copying someone that has quite a few cool cars, has a really cool lifestyle. It's about learning about yourself and actually defining your own path and becoming the best version of you. Now that brings us to the present / 2024. Now 2024 was an absolutely amazing year for me. Quite literally the year I've seen the most growth. I started making TikTok shop videos and made a lot of money doing that. I went to Thailand by myself, connected with some absolutely amazing people that have changed my perspective, people that have given me value, people that I've helped in different areas of life as well. Doing that alone, the Aaron at 16 years old would have never been able to fathom that I would travel to a different country by myself, but immersing myself in self-improvement has allowed me to do that. I was scared doing it, but after I did it, I was like, I'm capable of so much more now. I've literally flown across the other side of the country and I've met so many cool people. That really gave me a lot of confidence. It was like, if I can do that, I can basically do anything now. So doing that, I gained an awful lot of life experience and was very, very, very valuable to me. Came back from Thailand, I created a fight club where I basically just get people in my city, Southampton, together. We do some sparring, we, conversate, we chat some shit. Just get some guys together, which is quite a purposeful thing for me because I don't make money off it, but it brings a lot of people together. And I think fighting and sparring is a great way to make friendships because it's a very uncomfortable thing. It's very, puts you in a very stressful state. And if you do that with someone you do not know, you build such a unique friendship with them. So I was very happy to actually bring that to my own city because we did it in Thailand. And in general, 2024 and the start of this year, I've grown in every single area of life. And I can look back on this, 6-year self-improvement journey, and I just feel very, very grateful for the work that younger me put in. The 16-year-old version of me, if he saw who I am today, would not recognize who I am. I'm so much more mature, I'm in better shape, I look completely different, I act completely different. And I'm very proud of the person that I've become. And my mission, or my purpose, whatever you want to call it, is to now help men that are in positions that I've been in, whether that is, being heartbroken, being skinny, addicted to pornography, overall just not your best self, and help them fucking get out of that, because I know what it's like to be at the bottom. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and not feel confident. I know what it's like to honestly feel like absolute dog shit after breaking up with someone that you love and stuff like that, it's not ideal. You feel like there's a rain cloud over you, and I don't want young men to feel like this. I want young men to be the best version of themselves in all areas of life. I know this is quite a narcissistic video because I'm just talking about myself like, oh, me, but hopefully the idea behind this video is that guys will watch this video and realize that things do get better. Whatever position you're in, that I've been in, or whatever part of your journey you're on, it does get better. As long as you're putting in the work and you're working on yourself and improving yourself as much as you can, things will get better. I'm not sitting there and saying I'm a master of self-improvement. I've only just scratched the surface. You know what I mean? I've got so much more to learn, so many more ways to grow. I'm like 2% out of 100% in terms of self-improvement. There's so much more growth to see, but hopefully this story has inspired you in some sort of way. And boys, if you want to join a community of like-minded individuals chasing excellence every single day, go and join my free school community. It's not just about joining a load of people chasing excellence every single day. There's also a bunch of resources in there, training programs, a digital dropshipping course, and so much other stuff in there. Free calls. There's so much stuff in there. Honestly, you'd be stupid not to go and claim that for free. So if you're interested in that, go and click the link down below. Go and join Improvement Only Free. Boys, I hope this video has been valuable. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like the video, sub to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.